Namaskar, good morning, Ram Ram. Welcome to your own channel AC Astro, and today we are here with the most awaited video of every week, weekly horoscope. Week starting from 11th of Feb to 17th Feb. How it will be for all 12 ascendants. Let's welcome Akash Chauhan ji from Calgary, Canada. Akash ji, Namaskar, Ram Ram.
Rohit ji, Namaskar, Ram Ram. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing well. Um, Today we're going to talk about the weekly horoscope. Here we go. So this is for the week of 11th till 17th of February. There are two big transits happening here, Rohit ji, Sun and Venus. And Moon in the end of the week gets exalted for everyone. For Aries ascendant people, Moon is entering into Pisces on February 12th. It is going to make a conjunction with Rahu, so we have to be careful in terms of spending. The spend has to be done. It has to be done in only necessities, not luxuries. That is what is required. On the other hand, it's a very good time for spiritual revelation. Spiritually, you might be very active during this period, so that is going to be a positive news. Then Venus enters into Capricorn. Now here, if you see 12th of this month, four planets are going to be in the 10th house. So career wise, you have to be very careful because there is energy of two aggressive planets, two Saumya planets. Venus and Mercury are benefics, and Sun and Mars are malefics. Mars being exalted here will give you a lot of drive and passion in your work area, and Venus coming here might also want you to gain luxury out of your work area, like luxury out of your career. So balance is required. That's why you do not get into any kind of area where you have to, what you say, compromise on only one single thing. Like for example, if you are thinking that okay, I just have to do hard work, because Mars is the planet that, and Sun energy together, Sun is at very high degree here now, moving towards the other house in this week only, next day only. So for that, especially for the 12th day of 12th, so balance between work life is very very much important. If there is any big decisions that you want to take on February 12th, it should be avoided. Later, it should be taken in the end of the week when the moon is in Taurus. Then Sun enters into Aquarius. Here, Sun is entering into the house of Saturn, making Saturn combust. So, clear discipline issue. There will be problem related to your little bit of discipline, and as well as how do we focus on our work every day. That is the problem that you will have during this period. But you have to keep working towards your goal, keep making sure that uh, now here another beautiful thing that is happening is the fifth house lord is in the 11th house. So that means any education, anything related to children, if there were any goals that you had kept, this might be the stepping stone for it, that yes, these goals will start to now accomplish. Moon enters into Aries. Now, whenever Moon enters into Aries, it is the sign and it is the time when Moon makes Gaj Kesari Yog. So, very consecutive to four very good days when Moon makes Gaj Kesari Yog here. So, lot of confidence, lot of self power, lot of self determination, good decision making, abilities. And after 14th of February, this is also Valentine Day, and Moon is aspecting the seventh house. So, all the best. It's going to be a very pleasant one for Aries ascendant people. And then Moon enters into Taurus, into the second house, gets exalted. Whenever Moon is exalted, this is a time, the right time to do some kind of investments, do some kind of, if you have to speak out on something, if you want to share your thoughts, this is the right time for you. So overall, this week in nutshell is not going to be a too um, awesome in the beginning because of so many. There's trillium in the 10th house, then 11th house, 12th house. Expenses is going to be on the rise, as well as work stress is going to be too much. So maintaining peace and work life balance is in your hand, no one else's hand. This is what you need to do. There is a WhatsApp link in the description for personal appointments. You can click and then we can talk personally about your chart. And those who are watching for the first time, do subscribe. Now, Rohit, talking about Taurus ascendant here, the positive news comes end of the week. But what is happening otherwise? Moon is entering into Pisces first, and Pisces, it is making a conjunction with Rahu. So now whenever Moon will make a conjunction with Rahu, it is going to be Grahan Yoga. There is going to be some kind of issue. And it happens every time a month now because Moon is traveling very fast. So this day of that month, you have to be careful not to make very major decisions in terms of friendships, or if you want, if you can, avoid social interactions during this period and be a little bit inclusive and secluded. This is most required, because this is the place where miscommunication or some kind of emotional trouble can rise in the social area of your life. That means your friends, your colleagues. Be away from them during this period. Be in solitude. Then Venus enters into Capricorn. Now, Venus entering into Capricorn is another area where you have to see that the Lord of the Lagna enters into the ninth house. That means your destiny will be at full power. But because there is Sun, there is Mars. Sun is actually exiting. Yeah, it is on the border of, Capricorn and Aquarius. But still, for that one day, Sun, Mercury, Mars, and Venus in the ninth house. If there is any decision that is related to higher education, it should be just avoided right now, not taken during this time. This day, if you are thinking of applying for a visa, applying for some kind of paperwork, it should be avoided, because all the four planets are looking at the third house of communication. So, and Mars is putting a debilitated aspect there, so we don't want to get into any kind of trouble like that. So, but destiny will be working for you. That means you will be making the right choices. You'll be getting guidance from universe. That is what it means. And automatically, if there is some trouble that is going to happen, it will be saved because of the Lagna Lord in the ninth house. Then Sun enters into Aquarius. Now, Sun here is the fourth house Lord, exactly coming opposite in the house of career. Here, Sun is going to be making Saturn Combust. So here in your career, your bigger goals need to be you need to be determined on your bigger goals, as well as if we talk about your regular career area. Sun, every time it comes into the 10th house, it will make it shine, because that is a part of Sun's job, to be a little bit of over bright or overshadowed, like what we say, overconfident, egoistic in this area. So try to avoid ego and try to avoid conflicts in work area. But otherwise, if there is some drive that is needed for you to complete some kind of task, it is going to happen. Moon enters into Aries, Soiji now. Now Moon enters into the 12th house here, making a Gaj Kesari Yoga with Jupiter. So pleasant expenses related to maybe leisure, maybe some kind of um, um, either some kind of communication related expenses can happen during this time, or travel, short distance travel, or some kind of spiritual retreat that you can go during this time. That is very favorable. So Valentine Day, you should go for spiritual retreat. Then 16th, Moon will enter into Taurus. So in Taurus, Moon becomes exalted. Exalted Moon here will give you the one of the best results, because this is the Lagna where the third house Lord sits 11th from itself and gets exalted. If you see, Moon is the third house Lord, and when you count from third, it is the 11th. The Lagna is the 11th house, so it becomes exalted. So your hard work is going to get paid. There's going to be some very, very good, awesome, beautiful news that you will get during this period. So hope for the best. There is a WhatsApp link in the description for personal appointments. If you want, you can click and then we can talk about your chart in
And fight
detail.
with and fight with wife also possible?
Because of the debilitated aspect, not fight, but misunderstanding with partners can be possible. Not only wife, spouse. So it is depends on misunderstanding. But otherwise, exalted Moon always tries to. It will surpass, because Moon is a planet that tries to hide. So it will try to hide your emotions, even if it is exalted. That's why if you see Moon, the waning and the waxing position, it hides. So otherwise, yeah, it's going to be a good week, especially the end of the week after 14th of February is going to be very, very good. So Valentine Days brings a very, very positive time for Taurus ascendant people. Gemini. So Gemini Moon is entering into Pisces, making a conjunction with Rahu. Here, beginning of the week, 12th of February, make sure that there is no big, commitment, or no big fight, or no big your argument in the area related to your career. If there is anything, someone is provoking you, things like that, you have to be careful. Shant, nothing. No communication in that area, because here is where Rahu will act. and suddenly your mind and heart will become influenced by other people. We don't want to get influenced. This is why we make these videos. So 12th to 13th, to actually 12th to 14th, no decisions in the area of career. Then later, Venus enters into the 8th house. Now here, Venus is making a Viparita Achiyog, but also there is a stellium, four planets, Mercury, Mars, Sun, Venus, all in the 8th house for you. So if you are in any kind of project related to research, you will get some kind of very good results. If you were suddenly waiting for some kind of job offer or things like, where, how we say, things like your communication from some area that you are waiting for, some kind of inherited gains that you are waiting from partnerships also, that okay, I did partnership, now I want gains from it. This is the right time that you will get some kind of good news related to that. Next day, Sun enters into Aquarius. Now Sun is entering into the ninth house here. Now ninth house Sun, especially Sun sitting with the Saturn here, making Saturn combust in ninth house. It is exactly opposite. Whenever Sun will sit in Aquarius, it will be exactly opposite to Leo. So what is happening here? So that we do exactly opposite. So here in your destiny area, Sun represents the father as well. So if there is any communication that has to be done with father, if there is any kind of favor you need from father, so this may be the right time for you to ask for it. On the other hand, if those people who are just waiting on their destiny, that their destiny will work for them, it is not going to happen. It is a time of doing hard work, because the planet of the hard work has come to the destiny. So that means whenever you do hard work, your destiny will come to play. So try to give your 100 200% during this time, in the work and in other aspects of life. Higher education wise also, if you're thinking of starting something new, this is a good stepping stone. This is the time that you can start thinking about your education and things like that. Then Moon enters into Aries. Now Moon enters into Aries in the 11th house. Second house Lord in the 11th house. There is going to be monetary gains for you. Now monetary gains, if you are expecting, so it's not always monetary gains that will come only, but it means that if you're expecting any monetary gains, either from stock market, either from some investment, either from some sale of property, sale of fixed asset, this is the time that it may materialize for you, 14th of February onwards. And since Moon is also aspecting your fifth house of love, romance, so it will be at very, very awesome, high. Valentine Day is going to be very good for Gemini ascendant people. Then later on, Moon will enter into Taurus, into the 12th house, getting exalted here. Expenses. I am very sure, after 14th of February or around that area, you will be doing a lot of expenses. You buy some very, very precious gifts for your loved ones. So make sure that these expenses are bearable, because Moon is an extravagant planet. It will say, oh, nice, let's do over and over, and we don't want to do that. That is why we make such videos, so that you are careful from the beginning that what you need to do. In terms of spirituality, this is the house of extreme pakka spirituality, like real spirituality. Here you will be spiritual, and spirituality does not mean saying the name of God. Spirituality means that how you become an instrument in God's work. So that means you will be some instrument in God's work and do some charity, some kind of good deed that will add to your karma. So overall, a very nice period for Gemini ascendant people. There is a WhatsApp link in the description for personal appointments. If you want, we can talk and discuss about your chart in detail. Cancer ascendant people. Now, Cancer ascendant people, understand Moon is entering into Pisces, into the ninth house. Lagna Lord in the ninth house, good for destiny. But Lagna Lord in the ninth house with Rahu, little bit challenging for the destiny. Because what happens is that what you were supposed to get from your destiny, you will not get it right now. Only and only you can get it through hard work and, continued efforts. This is what it means. Here there is disappointment also. Sometimes it also gives disappointment, that something that you were supposed to hear on this day, that okay, you're getting job offer, okay, you're getting accepted, okay, there is promotion, okay, you are going to get into the next course or things like that, your admission, then maybe bad news. Yeah, till 12th or 14th, if it is supposed to come in this spine, then it will be a little bit challenging. Second layer is that it depends on your dasha and antardasha. What if your dasha and antardasha is so powerful that it does not even matter the moon's movement? But Let's hope for the best. Venus enters into Capricorn into the seventh house. So now seventh house is becoming too crowded. There are four planets from 12th of February to 12th of February. You have to be extreme careful, not make any major decisions in partnerships, anything related to what we say, spouse, anything related to buying a property in a foreign land or second property. Don't make any decisions on February 12th. This is the time to just balance between your love life, because before Valentine's it is very proven that there are a little bit quarrels. Before Valentine they will fight, and on Valentine you will have to then spend maximum money to get gifts and stuff like that. So just balance out. Sun enters into Aquarius later into the eighth house now. Second house, Maraka in the eighth house means health problem, especially with Saturn in this area. So health wise, you have to be careful. What if tomorrow is Valentine Day and today you start feeling not well? This is something that can be happening for you all the this week and this month, especially till 15th, 16th of March, because this is where Sun is going to be here for a longer period. This also means that family wise, if there is any kind of inheritance or any kind of money that you have given to your family not receiving back, here you will receive that, because Sun is sitting with Saturn, so you are going to even get justice during this period. Moon enters into Aries, 14th of February. Very nice in the 10th house. Some very good news in your career, some very big task that was supposed to be done, achieved. You will achieve during this period, and then maybe very good joy in your career area during this time. And later, that joy will be celebrated on 16th of February and onwards, because Moon will become exalted in the 11th house, telling you to throw a party with friends, social networks, and things like that, so that you enjoy that period and celebrate your gains. This is more or less what is happening for Cancer ascendant people during this time. I hope that this week bring you a lot and lot in good news. And there is a WhatsApp link in the description for personal appointments. You can click on it and let us know how do you think want to go about it. Now, here for Leo ascendant people, Moon is entering into Pisces in the 8th house, making a Vipreet Raj Yog. So, if in foreign country you were struggling to get something out, get something done, this is the time that your struggle will end. But it is Rahu with Moon, so understand Rahu energy here can create little bit challenge related to your, what you say, your inner demon, like anything that is inside you, the secret that is inside you. Here you will be able to uh, lit, like Moon is the mind, Rahu is illusion, so your mind will come into illusion related to the things that you know, and you might interpret that things into wrong way and put other people in corner or other people on spot. So it is not required during this time. It is just illusion. It will pass. Venus enters Capricorn. So now Venus, again, the owner of the third house, the owner of the 10th house, goes into the daily work routine place. Here it is the house of health, daily work routine, discipline, also the house of enemies, litigations, debts. These are the things. Now Venus coming here means there is going to be either some place from business enemy, okay, either some place where you have to do a lot of hard work in your work area, and that is required because this is the house of Saturn. Whenever Venus will enter into the house of Saturn, he has to do hard work, so Venus will be doing hard work for you. But more than that, there are four planets sitting here, especially Mercury, Sun, Mars. Sun is there for a very brief one day, like few hours, and Sun will move away. But still, this time, the effect of these four planets on this house is going to be extreme. So, number one is to take care of your health, avoid food poisoning. There can be some kind of Mars is exalted here, so some kind of um, you know uh, some kind of blood loss or some kind of cut, marks, burns can happen to you. You have to be careful in that area whenever you're doing anything that requires a lot of carefulness. So be careful. It might happen, but it might happen very minute. Okay, otherwise big things can also happen during this time. Later on, Sun enters into your seventh house. Lagna Lord in the seventh house, very good for status. If you are looking for some kind of status, some kind of designation, some kind of positivity in your life, yes, this is the time you may get it. On the other hand, if you're looking for something related to your spouse or your marriage or things like that, then it is also a positive period. But Sun is a planet of separative tendency. Depending on the placement of Sun in your chart, we have to decide that if Sun is going to do good or bad to you. So depending on your chart, but overall Sun here in its seventh house in its own Lagna, that means for Leo ascendant, is a very positive thing because it is aspecting its own. Ego wise, you will be a little bit higher during this side, so try to maintain that. But sometimes even ego and self-respect is more required because other people try to take you for granted. So not to, so you need to be focused in the area. Then Moon enters into Aries. So Moon is entering into the ninth house and making a conjunction with Jupiter. Whenever Moon will make a conjunction with Jupiter, it is Gaj Kesari Yog. But there is a connection between ninth and 12th house. So there is going to be what? Travel. Some kind of travel. Travel plans can happen, and that will be very pleasant and bring you very good news. Very nice. Later on, 16th of February, Moon is entering into Taurus, into the 10th house. Extreme success in your career, extreme success in your creative endeavors, extreme success in your business. Now, only problem is that Moon is putting a debilitated aspect on your fourth house. So work-life balance is more important. It is not like only and only work is what you are doing. You have to also maintain your family life and understand that family is also important during this time. So Leo ascendant, it's a very good period. Take care of your health. That is the biggest thing, biggest concern, because Mars is exalted in the wrong place, in the sixth house. He's yoga karka here. Very good for work area, but not good for health. So careful in the health area. There's a WhatsApp link in the description if you want to go and book your appointment. I'll be very, very extremely happy to read your chart in detail. Now, Virgo ascendant people, when we talk about this week, here Moon is entering into Pisces. Pisces is the seventh house and making a conjunction with Rahu. So, what is Rahu and Moon conjunction? It is mind and illusion on the mind. So, here there can be some illusion on the mind before the coming of Valentine Day, a very auspicious day for the seventh house and fifth house for this period. You may come into some kind of conflict or some kind of argument with your loved ones or business partners or anything that is related to partnership. Here there can be some kind of issue. So what you need to do is you need to avoid any such kind of area of your life where you come into such kind of place like situation. If you're coming into such kind of situation, be quiet. Simple. Best word, the best area of life that is in your control is to be quiet. Second, Venus enters into Capricorn. Now your fifth house of love, romance, as well as your children, as well as your, we talk about your education, your creativity is going to be overcrowded. So you're going to be extremely, excessively creative. What does this mean? This means that you have to be careful. But there is one very good yoga that is happening. So if you see the second house lord in the fifth house, okay, the third house lord in the fifth house, the eighth house lord in the fifth house, Mercury being the Kendra lord in the fifth house. So speculative gains is going to be at the peak in this month for you. So those who are into business related to speculation, depending on your own risk, man, don't quote me. But yes, you are going to be making very good money in speculative gains. So all the best for you. In fact, love wise also there's going to be some kind of love and hate relationship during this time, but later on it becomes good because Sun enters into the sixth house, so fifth house becomes a little bit non-heavy. Sun enters into the sixth house, make a Vipreet Rajyog. So if you were going through trouble related to health, if you were going trouble related to debt, trouble related to enemies, here Sun is going to give you a solution. And that solution will be for a long term. Like it will trigger right now, and that solution will be there for a long term. So all the best. Sun transit also. Sun entering the sixth house means also discipline is required in your workplace. Okay, because Sun is going to shadow Saturn, and Saturn is the planet of discipline who is maintaining discipline here. But now you come free hand. So what do you need to do? You need to maintain discipline in your work area, which will give you more success during this time. Then Moon enters into Aries, into the eighth house, makes a Gaj Kesari Yog. Not a very pleasant house for Moon to be. Here, Moon can cause some stomach related issues, some problem in the stomach. But Jupiter with it together, maybe the effect is very, very less. So in this time, Jupiter is the Kendra Lord. Again, Jupiter is not pleasantly sitting here. So for Virgo ascendant people, Gaj Kesari Yoga in this house is currently a little bit challenging in terms of, not getting any results basically. Not good, not bad. This is what it is going to happen for you from the 8th house. So if you're expecting any kind of inheritance, any sudden money or any kind of money from partnerships, it is not going to happen during this conjunction this month. Later on, Moon becomes exalted. Now, this is where your destiny will work for you. Somewhere your destiny which was not working for you, somewhere your long distance travel was not getting finalized, somewhere your education, higher education was not happening or not understanding what to do. Here you will get perfect guide during this period, that how and what to do next. So a positive time for Virgo ascendant people. WhatsApp link is in the description for personal appointments. Um, Take it, and then we will be able to discuss your chart in detail. Talking about Libra ascendant, so Moon enters into Pisces into the sixth house. Now, sixth house is the house that is related to your health, and Moon and Rahu together means do not ignore any health condition that you feel during this time, because it is an illusion in your mind that nothing is happening, man, everything is good. But there may be signals that Moon is trying to give you through your health. Secondly, illusion in workplace, because the 10th house Lord is in the sixth house with Rahu. So illusion in your workplace can happen. You have to handle it very, very well. Don't get into other people's, gossip and things like that, and don't act on other people's, judgment. Act on your judgment. Later on, Venus will come into Capricorn, into the fourth house. Now, here Venus is the lord of the Lagna, that is ascendant, as well as the eighth house coming into the fourth house. Whenever Lagna, eighth house and fourth house have a combination, there is going to be some kind of transaction of property, or maybe transaction of some kind of cars, vehicles. So this is the time. Maybe luxury wise, you will be, maybe very simply, you will just get your vehicle clean. Maybe you'll buy a new vehicle. Maybe you'll put new tires. Maybe you will give it for good detailing. These kind of things can happen. On the other hand, if you're thinking about buying a property, this is the right time. Venus is here, Mars is here, exalted. Right time to think about property, because Mercury also gives you wisdom here. So, intelligence, okay? So, good time. When we talk about Sun is a planet of the 11th house here. The higher gains, all the gains you have to achieve in this life is through Sun in this house. And it is now going into the fifth house of education. So that means all the gains that you're supposed to do during this month or this week is supposed to be from your creativity. So use your creativity, use your brain. That is where you will be getting a little bit of success in. Otherwise, Saturn is getting, your Yoga Karka planet is getting combust. It is not a very good sign. But in the other hand, the problem in your relationships, the bigger goals that you want to achieve, and the bank balance that you wanted to increase is going to increase because of Saturn's aspects on various houses in your chart. Moon will enter into Aries into the seventh house. Very beautiful period. Seventh house of partnership, when Moon and Jupiter make a very harmonious combination and give that area of Gaj Kesari Yoga. And here, because Valentine Day is also coming, so before that, in the seventh house, if this is happening, so that means it's a very positive sign for you, very awesome sign for you. There is going to be some kind of hidden gains also that you will get, because Moon later enters into Taurus and becomes exalted in the eighth house of hidden things. Suddenly, hidden gains will come. Suddenly, hidden news will come. Suddenly, there is going to be some monetary benefit that you can get. Good news from career can come, because 10th house Lord is exalted in the 8th house. So let's hope for the best. It's a very positive week for Libra ascendant people. I feel that only because Saturn is combust, so little bit of challenge till March of 18 to make decisions very, very clearly. But because of the uh, knowledge that Saturn has already given to you, you need to use those knowledge and then decide about how to take future steps. I hope you understand. All the best. There's a WhatsApp link in the description for personal appointments. If you want, you can click and then we can discuss your chart in detail. Going on to Scorpio ascendant people, Moon is entering into Pisces into the fifth house, making a combination with Rahu. Here, fifth house is house of romance, love. Okay, number one aspect. Do not make judgments, because your mind will be under illusion about the other person in your life. Secondly, children. So you might, like, someone would say something wrong about your children and you will make some a judgment about them. Don't be judgmental during this time in terms of children, in terms of love life, in terms of education also. Don't be judgmental that if I do this, nothing is going to happen. Every education in the world is positive and will bring you something or else. Maybe now, maybe 10 years later, maybe 50 years later, but it will prove to be useful for you. That is why education is always useful. Later on, Venus, the planet that rules the 12th house here, then the planet that rules the 7th house here, not a very pleasant planet, comes into the third house of extreme hard work with the dispositor of this Lagna, that is Mars, being exalted in that area. It means that for getting luxury, for getting any kind of something comfort, you'll have to work extremely hard, extremely crazily hard during this week, this month, because that is how you will be able to achieve your goals. Otherwise, no. Then Sun enters into Aquarius in the fourth house. Fourth house Sun, especially 10th house Lord in the fourth house, aspecting the 10th house is very good for career. Very good news in career. But in the home front, there may be little bit negligence. You can be neglecting few things which require your immediate action. Don't neglect that. Otherwise, Saturn, when it gets up again after getting combust, after getting okay, I'll back in action, then it will show you the real results. So don't neglect things at home. If emotionally, spiritually, physically, anything is required from your side and your home area, in your with your mother, with your house, with your car, with your vehicles, with your loved ones, family, it is required for you to go in that direction and help them. Later, Moon enters into the sixth house, making a Gaj Kesari Yog. Now, here, if we talk about Jupiter, Jupiter is in progression. It is in the second house and the fifth house, Lord in the sixth house. So that means now Scorpio people may be gaining a lot from their work area, from speculation, from any kind of investments that they had done in the past. Now, Moon comes here and enhances those things. There's going to be more gains, more speculative gains, more gains through your investment. So choose wisely that where you want to invest, and this is the right period for investment. Okay. Also, those who want to take positive debt for buying a property, for buying any kind of fixed assets, it is also a very good time that they will get a yes from the bank organization that they are working on for. If you're in litigation and any kind of news you want to get from your enemy about their defeat, about you defeating them, this is also very good time. Then Moon enters into Taurus. Seventh house, very good. After Moon making Gaj Kesari Yog during the right time of the year, February 14th, it is the time of Valentine Day. Here it also enters into Taurus. That means very harmonious relationship in your love life, in your spouse, with your partners, with your business partners. Secondly, there is going to be a little bit self-confidence issue during this time because Moon aspecting the Lagna, and that is debilitated aspect. So your mind will be a little bit challenged in terms of 10 different multitasking things. So try to concentrate on single area and make the most use of this time, which is a very, very auspicious time for Scorpio ascendant people. This week is a very good week, by the way. So all the best. There's a WhatsApp link in the description. You can go click. We can discuss your chart in detail. Sagittarius ascendant people. Now, Moon is entering into Pisces into the fourth house. So that means whenever Moon will sit with Rahu, there will be illusion of the mind. Whenever Moon and Rahu sits, it is illusion of the mind. And whenever Rahu and Sun sit, it's the illusion of the soul. That means your soul only gets a little bit disturbed. So those people who are born on a pure eclipse, they're very confused at what to do in life because they don't have a soul purpose. That is how it is, because their soul is completely challenged. Now here your mind will be completely challenged, and especially in the home area. If there are any big decisions that you need to take care in your home area, you will be completely challenged. You will not get the right answer. So what we have to do, we have to wait till 14th of February, let Moon come into the fifth house and then do whatever you want to do. Venus enters into Capricorn into the second house. Now, Venus here is the ruler of the sixth house and the 11th house. That means it rules health as well as gains for you. In the second house, in a Marakastan, health-wise, there will be a little bit challenge, especially in your dental area, mouth area. There can be some kind of suddenly tooth pain, some kind of problem in your mouth, like ulcers and things like that. But on the other hand, eye problem, eye watering, psoriasis, or any kind of thing like red eye syndrome can happen to you. On the other hand, the positive news is that Venus here provides luxury, but it will provide luxury from your own bank balance because it will try to put you in debt because it rules the sixth house of debt. So careful of not spending money. Best is to do charity during this period so that your money is also spent and good karma is also received. Later on, Sun goes to the third house. Now, whenever Sun, the ninth house lord will go to the third house, there will be short distance travel or some kind of planning for distance travel that can be related to pilgrimage, related to visiting a family or sibling or things like that. Or maybe you and your loved one go for some kind of small travel because Valentine Day is approaching. So this is the time of travel. So all the best. Later, if you see, Moon will enter into the fifth house, making on February 14th, the place, the time, the moment you need it, the Moon is going to be there in making a Gaj Kesari Yog, making a lot of pleasant environment in the area related to your love life, to your romance. It is going to enhance that. On the other hand, education wise, if you're thinking of some higher education and starting new things, this is good time. Business startup, good time. Very, very good. Every time Moon will make Gaj Kesari, your business time also is very good. So very positive. Then for children also, if you want to take any decision, or as a children in education you want to take decision, this is the right time to think about what next. This is the time your brain will be very creative and you will be able to understand it very well. Then moon enters into Taurus, into the sixth house. Now here it is again making a Viprit Raj Yoga. Viprit Raj Yoga means trouble in the beginning and end of trouble in the later part of your life. Here, eighth house lord is in the sixth house. So that means if trouble was going for long term illness, long term problem, long term enmity, this will end and some new beginnings can happen. In your workplace, you will be shining like a star. That is what is going to happen during this period. I know it is 16th is around the weekend, but as soon as 18 comes again and you're into a new week, you will shine like a star. So all the best for Sagittarius ascendant people. WhatsApp link is in the descriptions for personal appointments. If you want, you can go opt for it and then we will talk in detail. Capricorn ascendant people. Now, when we talk about Capricorn ascendant people, the Lagna is now occupied by Sun and Mars exalted here in Lagna. Mercury, very very important, powerful planets here. And what is happening is that Moon on the first day, 12th of February, it goes into Pisces, into the third house. So it is the seventh house lord in the third house with Rahu. Communication problem with your spouse, with your business partners can ruin your life during this period, because with your spouse it is Valentine Day, with your loved one it is Valentine Day. Don't get into arguments, and especially because of illusion or some kind of thought process that you have, not them. That is going to be a challenging part in your area. So communication wise, quiet. Mon Vrat, there is no communication or aggressive communication from 12th till 14th. Shanti. Then later, Venus enters into Capricorn. Now, Venus enters into Capricorn in your Venus enters into Capricorn in your Lagna. So that means the 10th house lord is in your Lagna. So you will now be focused, determined on your work area. Do some kind of, your attitude towards your work area, aggression towards your work area will make you pretty much successful. Because Venus is an extreme Yoga Karka planet, and coming and sitting in the house of Saturn here in this chart is a very auspicious placement of Venus. Your creativity will be at high. Your love life will be good. Your education will be doing good. In terms of your career and in terms of your status, it goes up, and that is only because of your effort. And on the other hand, Mars being exalted here, pushing you through the limits. Sun enters Aquarius in the second house, making Saturn combust. So that means any responsibility towards finance, any responsibility towards your family is to be taken care in utmost priority, because Saturn is just combust for a very minimum time. As soon as it comes back, it will then say that what the hell did you do when I was not powerful, and it will give you bad results. But on the other hand, the eighth house lord in the second house means sudden gains of wealth through some unknown sources. So let's hope for the best. Yeah. Later on, Moon enters into the fourth house, and fourth house is the house of inner peace, emotional security, mother, homeland, house. There will be lot of auspicious thing in the house that you will be able to see during this time, and that is going to bring you a lot of calm relaxation. Maybe this is the time you must have brought your house, or you must have got your possession of the house. That can also happen in that area that you are, or possession of your car. Okay, so that is the kind of thing that can happen. On the other hand, whenever Moon and Jupiter are sitting together, very good for farmers. So if you are in farming business, if you are things like in cultivation, very good cultivation, very good news about your about your product you will find. Moon is the mother, and coming in the house of mother and making a good Gaj Kesri Yog means some great news from mother or from the mother's side. If she was not well, she will now start feeling very better. If she was into any kind of, some diagnosis of some kind of area would come here also, you will feel good. So it is a positive sign for all the time, all the people. Then in the right time, right place, from 14th of 16th, Moon will be entering towards exaltation in the fifth house of love, romance, happiness. So this Valentine Day, Capricorn ascendant people can expect the best out of their life, their partners, because it is a very auspicious transit in ascending order. That okay, nice, this is also happening, this is also happening. So it is going up and up and up and up. So your expectations as well as your happiness is going up and up and up, and that is going to be fulfilled during this week. in terms of creativity, in terms of things related to your business, in terms of things related to your children. It is also again a very auspicious time. So anything that you're thinking in these areas, you can take a next step in that area. All the best. There's a WhatsApp link in the description for personal appointments, and those who have not subscribed, do subscribe. Aquarius ascendant people, Rohitji. Now Moon enters into Pisces, into the second house, creating illusion in the house of your monetary money. So here, don't get into some other people's influence and invest money somewhere. If you're in that process, stop. Don't invest any money, because this is the time when you invest money. When Moon and Rahu are together, you will be into illusion that you will think that okay, this money is becoming double, triple, four times, but it will not be the way that it is supposed to be. Okay, so this is illusion area. Be quiet. Secondly, this is the house of speech. If you want to confront someone, speak something, quiet. Mon Vrat, nothing, no, nothing speaking at all. Otherwise, you will be in trouble. Then Venus enters into the 12th house. Now here, Yoga Karka planet, Yoga Karka planet of this whole chart enters into the 10th house. What does this mean? 12th house. What does this mean? It means that here you have to be in a state of, what you say, in a state of solitude, in inward sadhana. You have to be very focused about your insideness, like how, what is inside you. Anything related to real estate should be avoided. Anything related to travel should be avoided, because it may bring maximum expenses. Real estate and travel will be the major part of expenses during this month. You will see, and you can comment below and let us know. Because see, the fourth house lord is in the 12th. Expenses related to your home, and expenses related to your real estate, to your vehicles. The ninth house lord is in the 12th. Expenses related to your travel, through education. These are the things that will happen. Then Sun will enter into Aquarius. Now Sun is here, the lord of the 7th house, a Maraka, coming into the Lagna, aspecting itself, may give some harmony and peace in the area related to your, your love life, your spouse, your business partnership, relationships, and things like, when we talk about second house, if you're trying to buy a second house, here you will get some success in that area also. So it is a positive time for all the people. But Saturn is going to get combust, so that means does not mean that you will just leave all your discipline and just work on luxury and fun. That is where you have to maintain your discipline as well, and also be a honest and ethical person during this time. Okay, ego wise, you have to calm down, because sun is proven to give you ego and lot of aggression. So that way, ego wise, you have to calm down and be a little bit humble during this time. Moon enters into Aries, into the third house, making a Gaj Kesri Yog, not in a very good place, because third house is the house of struggle, hard work, personal interest, siblings, neighbors, and things like that. So Moon here, if there is any aspect of gains from siblings and especially from sisters, it is going to be very positive. If there is any aspect that your neighbor is supposed to help you to get a job offer or reference, very good time for you. But in terms of hard work, in terms of cracking communication, in terms of cracking interviews, yes, this is the time that you have to be careful of communication, of your interviews, because this is the time that Gaj Kesari Yoga gives you extreme success. But the debilitated aspect of Saturn on this house can make things slow for you. It is combust right now, so the power is very less, but power is still there. That's why this is how planets act in your life. Then Moon enters into exaltation. It will get exalted in the fourth house, bringing inner peace, happiness. I feel and I think that if there is any interview that you have done during this time, you will gain from it. That it's going to be yes, and that is going to add more happiness in your personal life, in your home. Your family will be very happy. You will be very happy. But it is also the time of now determining and coming under that pressure that now hard work is required, so that I do not lose this kind of opportunity again. But overall, very nice time for all the Aquarius ascendant people. This is 11 to 17 Feb is going to be very positive for you. All the best. And WhatsApp link is in the description for personal appointments. Those who want can take it. And there is going to be some news, good news related to your home, family, career. So all the best for that. That is what I am very much excited about. Pisces ascendant. Now, when we talk about Pisces ascendant, especially Moon is entering into Pisces, into the Lagna. So that means you yourself, your thought process, your ideas can be corrupted during this period because of Moon coming in with Rahu and making illusions. So you will be under an illusion that you are doing something right, but that may be completely wrong in the eyes of the other people that are around you and wise enough to understand that if it's right or wrong. So don't make any such kind of effort your own self to prove something right, like that I am right. Don't do such any effort where you want to prove yourself right. It is better to do effort in area which is the rightest thing to do, not just to only prove yourself right. This is what this means. Later on, Venus enters into Capricorn in the 11th house. Here Venus is the lord of the 8th house. Venus is also the lord of the 3rd house, so it is not a very good pleasant planet for to be, because it is ruling the house of hard work, the house of sudden ups and downs, goes into the 11th house. So if you have done maximum hard work, then suddenly you can start gaining some profit through your past investments, that is past karma. That is how it means. It also means that it is going to be conjunct with Mercury. So extreme creativity will be there because all the planets are looking in the 4th house. Mars exalted here, giving you lot of strength to develop, gain money. Because second house owner in the 11th house exalted means monetary. The Bhagyastan means monetary. Bhagyastan Lord also in the 11th house means monetary benefit or benefit due to your destiny. And Venus is now is the cherry on the cake. It will add a little bit luxury to that gains. So it's a very auspicious time. When Sun enters into Aquarius, now here the 6th house lord goes into the 12th house, making a Vipreet Rajyog. So any trouble of health problem, any trouble related to enemies, any obstacles in spirituality or spiritual practice, or any obstacles in going to a spiritual place or trying to do a spiritual retreat will be taken off, and there will be some good news. But because Saturn is debilitated here, Saturn is combust here, you have to be sure that the focus on the area of spirituality, which you will say that, oh, it does not matter if I'm spiritual or no, that kind of attitude should not come into your mind. You should be spiritual and be an instrument in God's work, so that God becomes an instrument in your work. This is how it should be happening. Now, later on, Moon will enter into second house and making a Gaj Kesari Yog. The 5th house lord in the second house making a Gaj Kesari Yog is very auspicious to earn money through children, is to earn money through family, is to earn money through your past investments. And very right time to do new investments for fixed assets. Best thing is to do here is buy gold bar or silver bar during this time. If you have money, go and buy a gold bar or silver bar, because that will bring more auspiciousness brought when Gaj Kesari Yoga has happened. It will bring you more auspiciousness. So all the best. Later, Moon becomes exalted in the 3rd house for you. Your inner peace, your inner interest, personal interest, your happiness from your siblings, your happiness from your neighbor, or someone who wants to be an instrument in your life, your neighbor who's supposed to give you a reference for some kind of work, reference so that your destiny goes up, or give you some kind of news from where you can work out new ideas and make your destiny work for you. It is going to happen. But short distance travel is also going to happen, so be ready for short distance travel, and that will be very, very auspicious for you. So overall, very nice week. There is a WhatsApp link in the description. If you want, you can go there and click on the WhatsApp, and we will be able to talk about your chart in detail. Thank you so much for watching, and we will meet next week as promised. Rohit.
Thank you, Akashji, for this detailed weekly horoscope. This is not praised for my own channel, but I see no astrologer make this detailed weekly horoscope. Sometime I told Akashji, let's make it generic. He said, no, I will go date by date. And that's why his control is in, he know every date, every transit. That's good for all family members of AC Astro. Thank you very much for watching, for sharing, and those who want to take a benefit of knowledge of Akashji, take consultation. WhatsApp number in scroll, mail ID in scroll, or go to the description. There is a link. Click, connect with the team, and they will have a connect. They will connect you with Akashji, and you will have a video consultation with Akashji. Thank you very much. Thank you, Akashji. Thank you for guiding all the family members of AC Astro. We'll meet you in next video. Till then, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Hanuman, Jai Mata Di, Om Namah Shivaya, Jai Mata Lakshmi.